How's it going today? I'm just gonna upload this video today. I normally do it on Sunday, but the market's closed today, so I got a lot to go. Earnings season is kicking off, fully effect. I have some notes here, and I'm gonna talk about. So we got a lot of companies that I recommend. We got about 6 of them this week. That's a lot. So essentially, I'm gonna get right into it. On Wednesday, the 24th, we have Facebook reporting earnings, and I'll give you a little insight or what I think about it every on every company. Facebook, I think it's gonna have a good quarter. I would love to see. I'm just waiting for maybe some numbers on Instagram, because Facebook, obviously, I hope everybody knows how Facebook works. It's advertisement. That's basically what it is. That's fully what Facebook does. So Facebook is, every single time you see an ad, people pay for that. They really do it kind of cheap. Anybody can do an ad for a couple bucks, and then that's how they make a lot of all their money. And Instagram, they own Instagram. So I mean, so essentially that's what I'm looking at. Really, how good Instagram can be monetized and put ads on there. Facebook does a good job, but I think the growth is really from Instagram, so we could maybe see that. That's really my opinion on Facebook. Looking forward. That's why I hold it, because I think it's going to do. I don't know what's going to do on this earnings report. I think the news bash it down 1,000,001 times, and they have nothing better to talk about. It seems like with Facebook, they have nothing better to talk about, so they just bash Facebook and how data breaches and all this. And honestly, I personally use Facebook. I go on there all the time, really, and I really don't care about all that. And that's just me as a consumer looking at it. You can write down in the comment if you really care. I don't really care about all this data stuff on there as a consumer anyway. The business looking at it maybe ruin their slight reputation, but I don't think, not a whole lot. So anyway, that's moving on to the next one. Same day, PayPal. I think PayPal is still a good company to own. Has still a lot of growth in it. Basically what PayPal is, if you don't know it, it's like MasterCard and Visa, somewhat. Basically every single time people use money, use a transaction, basically, they basically pay. PayPal gets a certain, basically a transaction kind of fee, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, that's how PayPal is. I think PayPal is one of these companies that has a lot of growth. It's has a lot of opportunity. It's ran up a little bit, so essentially, I think there might be some. It could, a lot of times when it runs up a lot, if it doesn't blow away expectations and do really, really well, the stock come down a little bit. I think that's one of these stocks. It's kind of ran up. Is it justifiable? Who knows? It reports, and really, I mean, it's one of these economy stocks where the better the economy does, the better it will. Obviously, if people spending money, they get a transaction, so you can just kind of look how it is. And Visa is the next company, reports on 24th, the same day. So we got about 3 companies: Facebook, PayPal, and Visa. Visa is basically just like just kind of like PayPal, except it's more in your pocket. Your Visa card and all that, or your credit cards and or your debit cards and all that. If you swipe it, every single time they get a transaction for, that's how they make their money, basically. So obviously, if the economy is doing well, which it's doing well, a Visa obviously gets a good percentage of that. So obviously, it's doing well. That's why I believe everybody, Visa and PayPal. Now the 25th would be Thursday. We have Amazon reporting earnings. I think it's going to be a pretty strong quarter for them. We just had, I think, this week, we had some good retail data coming out. So obviously, Amazon being retail, but Amazon's so much more. It has cloud service, and that's really what I'm looking at, the cloud service, because I have some other stocks that I recommend in the cloud service. IBM had some weak cloud service numbers coming out. I believe you can take that 2 ways. Maybe IBM their cloud service is not that good, and competitors are taking their business away from. away from, or maybe there's just less demand. So really, if one company comes out and says that, that's how you kind of look at it. But if Amazon comes out and said they're doing strong, then obviously maybe IBM is not doing as well, and Amazon's taking some of that. But that's really where I look at with Amazon. Obviously, I think the retail business be doing well, but I think it's all about really with Amazon, really about the cloud service and what they do with that. Because obviously I recommend Twilio and other companies like that, and that's all in the cloud. So, and obviously Sinclair is also what I call ZS is a cloud security company. You can look down the cloud security thing. Obviously, if all the data is going there, so obviously I'm looking for strong growth in the cloud for them, and that's really where Amazon's growth's been going from the earnings anyway perspective. The other company I'm looking at is Alaska Air, and the other one is Southwest. So I'm just going to jump them both together. I bought airlines, and these are probably the worst performers out of them. They haven't performed terrible. It's not like they're down 100, went to zero. But, as all the other ones, I think Alaska Air, when I bought it, it's down maybe 8%. So a little bit knocked there. Southwest is slightly down too. With all that, obviously you can see with Southwest especially, it's getting hit with Boeing. I don't know, you probably heard the news. Boeing, one of their planes crashed, and they put it on standby where nobody can fly them planes, and Southwest has a lot of them, so it's slowing down their basically their operation. So Southwest, that's why I got hit a little bit. But I think that will blow over, and I don't think both of these companies. These companies are probably the most kind of the value stock out of all 6 of these. Just because, it's not like a big growth in airlines. I mean, airlines, one of these businesses, it's very competitive. So the profit margins are very low. Obviously, it's like, if you really think about it, I mean, you really care who you really fly with. Per se, honestly, it's whatever's cheaper. Per se, as long as it does, would you pick Southwest? Would you pay an extra $20 for a ticket from a different airliner? Probably not. If you're traveling a lot, it's all about really, they both could get you there. So essentially, that's the thing with airlines, and Southwest has done well. I think Southwest is probably one of the best in the business. The stock has done well over the last couple of years, and it's really not overvalued. I think I valued around it maybe, I think it's like $49. So essentially it's a 52. So obviously it's not that overvalued, but it's definitely not 100% undervalued. But that's why I picked it up around there, around the 52. So it's almost break even for me on Southwest. So, but anyway, that's what I'm look at. One thing about airlines I'm going to add, because these are kind of the economy kind of stocks. Obviously, if the economy's doing well, people are traveling, people spend money. Obviously, I think they can benefit. So essentially, that's why I'm looking at them. Recommend, and really, that's all I'm looking at for this week. Thank you.